This is the Greg Bedard Patriots podcast with Nick Caddles.
All right, offensive line, Greg. What'd you see? How'd you grade them? And especially, I would like you to start with Will Campbell, because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like there's a certain agenda from certain people out there, whether it's in the media, outside of the media. There is a contingent of people that I feel like every time Will Campbell has a bad snap, it is going to be tweeted about. It's going to be yelled about. Arm length, this and that. I thought Campbell was solid, but you are much better breaking down the offensive line. What'd you think of Campbell, and what'd you think of his teammates up front?
So I thought, I think solid is the right word to use with Campbell. I thought he had some really good reps. He got beat a few times. I think that, people need to keep in mind that, the first time out, they played 70, including penalties. They played 71 total snaps. I think there were 54, pass protection reps, which is just absurd. So 3.5 total quarterback pressures and 54 dropbacks, including penalties, is not that bad at all. I thought he gave up, a half a sack. I think it was the strip sack.
Yeah.
But that was Ramondre Stevenson was involved in that. Like, he's supposed to help, and he didn't really help. And then he shoved Kuntz into Will Campbell, and now he's at a disadvantage. So, there was some of that. I thought that, of course, he had the 2 penalties, and not ideal at home, because it's only going to be worse on the road. But he'll get better at that. But I thought I was probably more disappointed in him and Jared Wilson, their work in sort of the run game on double teams. The Raiders' defensive line was a lot better than I thought they were going into this. They really jumped a few gaps that the Patriots didn't anticipate. Again, not much film to go on. You try to prepare for what you can. I think, all those guys will be better. They weren't very good in the run game. There were, Michael Wenu, for the most part, played pretty well, but his poor plays were really ill-timed and not very good, and he had some really bad reps. He's not moving very well, on screens. They pulled him once. It was not very good. So I'm a little bit alarmed at that. I don't know what kind of shape he's in still. He looks heavy to me. I thought Bradbury was way better than I thought he was going to be. Didn't do much in the run game, but clean sheet and pass protection. I thought Morgan Moses, especially with the amount of snaps that he played, which surprised me a little bit. At one point, I did see Marcus Bryant warming up on the sideline, but he ended up not going in. But I thought he did a good job for the most part against Max Crosby. Of course, the one time he really makes a play is on the interception. That's unfortunate. But I thought the offensive line, was solid. The run game thing is, disappointing. Just sort of individual failures here and there. But I thought for the first time out, I thought the group did pretty well.